This is Newbie Series Lesson 5.
Willkommen zurück.
Welcome back.
How's your German today?
Do you get the impression that you can say more and more things in German?
Then you're right, because with every lesson you become more familiar with German, even if it happens unconsciously.
If you consciously want to learn German and see your progress, we recommend using the word bank in the Learning Center. It'll keep track of the vocabulary you need to learn from all the lessons you've done. You know those words you keep forgetting, as well as the ones you have safely tucked in memory.
Of course, every bit of exposure to German helps. You will even improve when working with materials that are too advanced for you. For example, grab the PDF accompanying one of our advanced audio blogs and read the English translation. Then read the German as you listen to it being read. You will definitely pick up some new German words. And, what's more, you'll improve your instinctive understanding of how German works as a language.
You can also go to your local video store and get a German film, like Run Lola Run. But meanwhile, we'll help you develop your active German skills. In this lesson, we'll learn how to ask someone out in German.
As if you still needed any help with that, Chuck.
Well, I think some training can't hurt, actually. When you're flirting with someone, you really want to use the correct words and grammar. Otherwise, you might seem a bit stupid.
So let's listen to today's conversation.
Okay, so let's continue the story of Michael and Lena. I will play Michael, as usual, and Judith will play Lena. Lena, hast du noch Lust auf einen Kaffee?
Nein, ich habe jetzt einen Termin.
Und morgen, hast du morgen Zeit?
Nein, morgen arbeite ich.
Und hast du am Samstag Zeit?
Nein, ich arbeite auch am Samstag. Now read slowly.
Lena, hast du noch Lust auf einen Kaffee?
Nein, ich habe jetzt einen Termin.
Und morgen? Hast du morgen Zeit?
Nein, morgen arbeite ich.
Hast du am Samstag Zeit?
Nein, ich arbeite auch am Samstag. Now Chuck will give you the translation. Lena, hast du noch Lust auf einen Kaffee?
Lena, are you still in the mood for some coffee?
Nein, ich habe jetzt einen Termin.
No, I now have an appointment.
Und morgen?
And tomorrow?
Hast du morgen Zeit?
Do you have time tomorrow?
Nein, morgen arbeite ich.
No, I work tomorrow.
Hast du am Samstag Zeit?
Do you have time on Saturday?
Nein, ich arbeite auch am Samstag.
No, I also work on Saturday. That didn't sound like she wants to go out with me.
No, it didn't.
I have trouble understanding that. I mean, I'm such a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was the setting. Aren't ice cream parlors a good place to get to know new people?
Actually, they are. Ice cream sundaes are very popular in Germany, and there are a lot of Italian ice cream parlors. They're usually rather small, accommodating maybe 30 people inside, but in summer they put out chairs and tables outside and still can't cope with the sheer mass of people that want to enjoy their ice cream sundae. And this is when it's easy to get to know new people.
How's that?
Well, normally you're supposed to sit down at an empty table, unless you already know somebody on another table. However, if the place is packed, you can just walk up to any table and ask if you can sit down there. Use the phrase, ist hier noch frei? That Michael used in the third newbie lesson. Then you will naturally get to talk with the other person at the table, if you're not a complete moron.
Oh, so whenever somebody sits down at my table, it means she's interested in me, right?
Not quite, since the person could also just want a place to sit. But key questions like, kommen Sie oft hierhin? Should quickly show you if the other person is interested in spending time with you once this chance meeting is over.
Cool, and then I get to pay for her ice cream.
No, I think that would be a bit too much at the point. Germans hardly ever pay for each other. Usually everybody pays what he ordered, even among friends. Also, when somebody suggests going to a restaurant together, it does not necessarily mean that he'll treat you. He would have to actually say the words, Ich lade Sie ein, I invite you.
Ah yes, I remember where I used to live, I had a friend and we would go out to eat every once in a while. And a couple times, I would offer to pay the meal for us, and occasionally I would, still pay for the meal for us. And I realized He's not actually ever paying for the meal for us. So I realized that I should stop paying for his meals, and that Germans typically just always pay for themselves.
That's the way it is here.
So they like to go Dutch.
Well, I don't know how you got to that word, to go Dutch, but it's definitely something Germans do often.
You see, the Germans aren't willing to admit that they do anything similar to the Dutch. So in that ice cream parlor, the setting was okay, but so why didn't she want to go out with me?
You didn't understand what she said?
Well, not really. I was too busy admiring her nice blonde hair and blue eyes. Not to mention other aspects that...
Let's have a look at the new vocabulary to figure out what was the problem. The first new word is haben.
To have.
Haben.
To have.
Now, what can you have? You can have, for example, Lust.
Notice that this doesn't mean lust. It means desire.
Lust.
Desire.
It's usually used with the word auf. Lust auf etwas. Desire for something.
Or Lust auf Kaffee, which means a desire for coffee.
Kaffee is the next word, actually.
Coffee.
Kaffee.
Coffee.
So, as a complete sentence, you could say, Ich habe Lust auf Kaffee.
I have the desire for coffee.
Or something else you could say with haben is Ich habe Zeit. I have time. Zeit is
Time. You'll also notice that Die Zeit is a very popular newspaper in Germany.
It is. Now, ich habe jetzt Zeit. Jetzt is
Now.
jetzt.
Now.
Hast du jetzt Zeit?
Do you have time now?
The next word is morgen.
Tomorrow.
Morgen.
Tomorrow. Note that this can also mean morning,
Yeah, as a noun, der Morgen, the morning.
or as in Guten Morgen.
But as an adverb, it means tomorrow. Morgen.
Tomorrow.
Ich habe morgen Zeit.
I have time tomorrow.
Next we have am Samstag.
On Saturday.
Am Samstag.
On Saturday.
And I believe in the dialogue, Michael asked, Hast du am Samstag Zeit?
Do you have time on Saturday?
And Lena actually did not have time for Michael. She said she had a Termin.
Appointment.
Termin.
Appointment. And that might have been an appointment with her boyfriend. That's the only reason I see her not accepting me for a date.
Ich habe einen Termin.
I have an appointment with my boyfriend.
Anyway, I believe that is the reason. Lena said, Ich habe jetzt einen Termin.
I now have an appointment.
Ich habe is the form of the new verb you learned. Haben, to have. This verb is a bit irregular.
But ich habe looks completely regular to me.
Yeah, that form is regular. It's the next form that is irregular. Du hast, you have, informally.
Du hast. Okay, so du hast still looks regular to me. It has that ST ending that we learned in the last lesson.
It does. Just the beginning is not right. To be completely regular, it should be du habest. But it is du hast.
Well, that's easy enough. It's like I'm slurring the word, and the b part from habe just gets lost.
And the formal form is completely regular again. It is Sie haben.
All right. So let's have some example sentences using this verb.
Okay. This verb is very versatile. It can be used in many different situations. For example, Ich habe einen Bruder.
I have a brother.
Haben Sie Zeit?
Do you have time?
Ich habe einen Arzttermin.
I have a doctor's appointment.
Hast du Lust auf einen Kaffee?
Are you interested in some coffee? Literally, have you desire of a coffee?
Hast du Lust auf einen Kaffee? It may sound weird to you, but this is how German uses this phrase. Now, ich habe keine Lust zu arbeiten.
Now we get to the really true sentences. I don't feel like working. Or literally, I have no desire to work.
Ich habe Hunger oder ich habe Durst.
I'm hungry or I'm thirsty. Literally, I have hunger or I have thirst.
As you can see, this verb is really useful to know. Be sure to get it right. For now, let's practice by listening to the dialogue once again, this time aiming to understand everything.
Hast du noch Lust auf einen Kaffee?
Nein, ich habe jetzt einen Termin.
Und morgen? Hast du morgen Zeit?
Nein, morgen arbeite ich.
Hast du am Samstag Zeit?
Nein, ich arbeite auch am Samstag.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'd go to the Learning Center now and practice these vital questions. You never know when you might just come across somebody you'd like to meet again, especially since Germany's full of great people.
Oh, thanks, Chuck. Well, that's it for today's lesson. Thank you for listening to GermanPod101.com.
If you have any questions, feel free to use our forum or post a comment on today's lesson. And you can also follow us on Twitter, and our account is GermanPod101. See you again soon!
Bis bald!